Hi, and welcome to Everything RV by Pat. I'm Pat, and we are at the Pacific Ocean. Stick around, I'll tell you a little bit more about where we're at and what we're doing. So, like I said, we're at the Pacific Ocean. Where in particular? We're at Carpenteria State Beach, or State Park, or State Beach, I'm not sure which. Carpenteria, California. I'll flip the camera around so you can see what's going on. So first off, we start off with a look at part of the campground and the coastal mountains. We are, I believe we're in Ventura County, California. This is the state park at the state beach called Carpenteria. Now I want to show you, and I'll kind of zoom in, and hopefully you can see the sunlight is not great right now, but let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. There we go. The sunlight is not great looking that way because we're going to get a big glare off of the ocean. But what you're looking at is what was once a very sandy beach, just recently has become full of wood. Yes, Carpenteria State Beach has wood. Where did it come from? Well, it's come from the mountains that I just showed you, the Coastal Range Mountains. A few years ago we had several fires in that area which knocked down a whole lot, or killed a whole lot of trees, and what wood was standing didn't burn was still fairly green. Well, a couple of weeks ago the storms that went straight across the country started here, and they knocked down all of this, put it in the rivers, and washed it out into the ocean. And the waves have pushed it back up onto the shore. And it doesn't just stay where it comes into the ocean, it moves along the beach. This concept is called longshore drift. It usually happens with sand, but in this case, most of this timber came from the coastal mountains nearby and is just working its way up the shore from the major inlets to the ocean. But that is a lot of board foot of various species of trees and different types of lumber out there. They say that this should probably be dispersed within the next several months, and they did say that they're going to do some cleanup. As you can see, people have come out here and decided to build some forts and use it like Lincoln logs, but there's one in particular. But the ocean will probably move it up and down the coast, and the state beach caretakers will probably also do quite a bit of cleanup. Although this is very, very natural, it is disturbing to those who like the beaches. It is not unnatural. It's perfectly natural for this to happen. And this wood will be dispersed over the next several months to even several years. Anyway, we wanted to show you this, and then we'll take you back over to our campground. Something else I want to point out is that you can see way off into the distance oil platforms. Right in this area there is quite a bit of let me see if I can see some more. There's some more. There's quite a bit of oil, crude oil, that's poking its way up through the floor of the ocean here, due to the tectonic forces. Some of it is pulled out by these oil platforms that you see there off in the distance. These are offshore platforms, drilling rigs, pumps, if you will. And then here at Carpenteria Beach, along with some of the other nearby beaches, there is quite a bit of what they call tar weep formations that you can find in different locations, where the tar or the oil is working its way up to the surface. Some people will tell you that it's from spills in the ocean by these platforms, but that is totally incorrect. It comes right up through the ground, through the cracks, from tectonic cracking of the plates. We are basically at the convergence of the Pacific plate and the North American plate, and up through the fault lines and the various cracks, some of this crude oil will work its way to the surface. If you walk along this beach at times, you might get tar or crude oil stuck to your feet. But this wood that has been pushed up onto the beach here is actually a good thing, because the wood floats, and so does the oil residue that's sitting in the water. And this wood will soak up that oil. It's a natural soak up for the tar weep, and it'll pull it out from the beach. So while some people will tell you that this is ugly and horrible and terrible and an environmental disaster, it's not. This is nature's way of cleaning itself. This wood will soak up the oil, it will move on, it will drift, it will at some point either decompose or it will catch on fire. And when it does, it basically essentially cleans the oil off of the surface of the water and sucks it in, takes it out of circulation here. And in an undisturbed environment, this could become piled up on by other sediment, and over millions of years be stacked on by sediment and rocks and squeezed into something like coal or peat. But I don't believe this is going to happen. People here are probably going to clean this up, move it along, burn it, drag it over to the campfires and whatnot. We've seen a lot of different things make a structure out of it and sorts. So anyway, it might look ugly right now, but it's the way in which the environment is naturally cleaning itself. So you learn about RVs on my channel, but you also get a little bit of ecology and geology at times too. So there you go. All right, back to RVs. So back at the campground, we are in spot 205. Just to give you a point of reference, right over that little mound there is the ocean. That's the actual beach. These dunes that are covered in this, what'd you call them, iceberg plant or
ice plant?
Ice plant?
Either iceberg plant or ice plant.
Something like that. I'm not the biology guy, so anyway, but that's they're covered in that and some trees. But this is where we're camped. Right over the hill is the beach, and this is the Solo. We brought the Solo today, the free Solo. Kitchen off to the side, 2 doors entrance, refrigerator in the front hatch, and we brought the Jeep. Not a whole lot to report on yet on this. This is the first time we've set up the awning. I'll put some more pictures of the awning in it, or in the video here in a second. We really like the side kitchen. That has become a huge success for us. Our Philly cheesesteaks on the grill. Where are you going? It's an Elite Series griddle by Suburban. How do you think that looks? Will it look good? Check the toastiness of the buns. Let's go here. Let's go there. 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 Oh yeah, cover it up a little bit. Oh yeah, those are gonna look good. Over here, we have our little, it's the Outland propane fire pit. I like that so much better. Last night we were sitting out here, and the neighbors had a big fire going. They had a bunch of wood from out on the beach, and they fired it up with basically a blowtorch of some sort. And like I said, because it had been soaking up some of the tar that's sitting out on the beach, it stunk. It smelled like burning crude oil. Anyway, I'd rather smell the propane than that any day. But this is the Solo. We have not made any modifications to it. I did put a little milk crate on the front on the rack, but that's the only thing that I've done. We did load up with some Harbor Freight toolboxes. We made our kitchen cupboards out of that, so we keep our plates and stuff in that. On this side we have the I just had the generator. I moved it out, but we're in pretty tight accommodations. You can't get across the line, and they're pretty small spots. Charging up the batteries. Do not have any solar on it yet. Not sure when or if that's going to happen. Bring you around the back and take a look at the stove from this side, and the awning. This is the exact same unit that I crawled through in my video of the dealership, or at the dealership. You know that because you can see the tape seam on the paneling, the wood paneling, but it's the same. We have a 2 bedrolls zipped together, 2 sleeping bags zipped together, and that's what we sleep in. Up in the front we have a decent shelf, and yes, we do have some adult beverages because we are adults, and we've got a little mixture of everything. We still haven't figured out exactly how we have this how we're going to organize this, but I can tell you that the heater works great. The first time we brought it out, we blew a fuse in the heater and had to replace the fuse. Did not have any with us, so that was interesting. But we traded a beer for a fuse and put a new fuse in it. One of the wonderful things about this campsite is that it is right by the train track. And if you like trains, and let me see if I can zoom in, you can see the ocean liner going by right over there. There it is. That's Amtrak. It's the Surf Line, I think is what it's called. A few times a day you hear the wonderful sound of the train as it goes by. And we do not have a toilet in our trailer, so the bathhouse is kind of important to us. There's a bathhouse right over there, I'd say about 40 to 60 yards away. There's one on the other side that's not too bad either, and it's a little closer. But we've been to both of them. They're fairly clean. This place is really well kept, and we definitely are enjoying our stay here. So the campground area is fairly crowded. It is difficult to get reservations for. The sites are narrow, they are close together, and it's more like parking in a parking lot. We can't bring the big RV down here, it's too big. It's 36 feet, the maximum amount that they'll take is 35 in any spot, and I guess we could lie and say it's 35, but we don't. Since we've had it, we have not brought it here. That's part of the reason why we bought the little one, because we can get it into littler spots and stay for shorter amount of time. The big one really is something that we're going to look to stay in long term. Anyway, back to Carpenteria. The Carpenteria campground is quite a nice facility. It's well groomed. It's very well taken care of. There are lots of hosts and lots of people that manage the facilities. There are full hookups, but again, you have to be in a smaller rig. Where we are staying currently is definitely not a full hookup. These are all primitive sites or dry sites, and the more developed sites are all concrete or pavement. They're asphalt sites where you park and plug in, and you don't even have room to put out your awning. You don't have room to camp to sit outside your camper. You basically pick up your chair and go to the beach and sit in the stand. We kind of like to be near the beach, to walk near the beach, but also to be near our campground. You may hear people in the background, and that is because we are in fairly close quarters, fairly tight settings, but that's just what you do. I mean, it's California. There are people everywhere. There are lots of people, and we are literally, you reach out the window or reach out the door of the camper here, and you can touch the camper next to you. We're that close to everybody. But on this side of us, we have a little bit of as you can see behind me, we have a little bit of an opening. That's our next neighbor on that side. As I showed you just a minute ago, we are right up against the line, and the neighbor to the other side of us is right up against the line, and we have to pretty much walk like we're walking through a parking lot to get in between each other. It may not be the best of circumstances, but you got to do what you got to do if you want to be next to the waves of the beach, the Pacific Ocean. It's definitely a high rent district here. The price per night in January that we're paying is, I think it was $60 a night for this particular spot, and we are in 205. Okay, so it's evening time, and you can see my eyes. And in the process of, oh, we're being visited by another train. What do you know? It's the ocean liner. Just as soon as I start to talk, it just wanted to talk a little bit about the evening at the at Carpenteria. It's a pretty nice place. People are pretty respectful. All the generators are really gone off already. I had mine running for a few minutes. I had the little one going for about an hour today, keep the battery charged. And then I wanted to show you this, the light strip on the ARB awning. It's not a tent room, it's just the awning. It went up real easy. Poles, 2 poles. It can stand up on its own without the wind, but I do have guy wires. You can't see it because it's dark, but there is a guy string there and staked down. Gives off quite a bit of light. That is not even full light that's up. It has 3 different light settings. This is yellow. This is the fire setting. Over here we have the wire that runs to it, and there is a plug, and this shows there's a 12-volt plug down there where that red glow is coming from, and this will show you that we can turn it up, turn the brightness up, and of course as the brightness goes up, the camera settings adjust it down. There are 3 different color settings. That's the amber and the white together. That's just the white, and that's just the amber, and that's full brightness. That's off, just for reference, and then it'll dim, and then my camera, when I get it all the way down, will probably dim. That's as low as it goes, and make it, you can probably dim it so that you can see brightness, but understand that it adjusts to the different levels. We kind of like we decided we like it about medium on the amber color when we have the fire going. And just to show you, this is our Outland fire bowl. It is a smaller one. It has a lid, it has strap that keeps the lid on that you can use as a carrying case, and it keeps us quite warm. It's up off the ground, so you can put it on a rug if you needed to, or you can even put it under the tarp if you needed to, although I don't think I would recommend putting it inside of a tent room, but I wouldn't feel a bit worried about keeping it under the awning. All right, back to me. That's it for tonight. We're going to pick this up tomorrow morning. It'll be instantaneous for you, but tomorrow morning I'll show you how I cook on the griddle as I make breakfast, and then show you packing up. All right, enough for tonight. Good morning. Okay, so as promised, Sunday morning here at Carpenteria Beach. Looking around the campground, everybody's packing up, getting rid of their stuff, driving over the grass, throwing their hot coals in somebody else's fire ring. Yeah, it's fun to watch. Anyway, so I'm gonna make some breakfast. You wanna join me for breakfast? Check out what I'm doing. All right, so we got our ingredients. Yes, I went to McDonald's. It's pretty hard to make coffee on a griddle. So I got my ingredients. I got some eggs. I got some chopped up onions. I got some down there. I got some bell peppers. I got some green chili. I got some mushrooms, cheese, tortillas, cilantro, and yes, I said eggs. And so we're going to just take the the griddle. Some people's kids, right? Anyway, take the griddle, get a little oil on the griddle. Hard to film and watch what you're filming and everything while I'm doing this. So this may be a little bit patchy, but keep the griddle nice and hot. Cover it with a little oil. Only the best virgin oil from Costco for me. Okay, so we put the ingredients right in there on the oil, on the hot griddle. Take the spatula, kind of slice up the mushrooms. Oh, there's one that kind of got away. Yeah, you can put that away. Just kind of mix it all in there. Chop up the big mushrooms. There we go. Just like that. Give it a stir. Next we put not yet. Next we'll put a little secret ingredient on there. I can't tell you the name of it, but you know it's there it is. Put that stuff on everything. Absolutely great. Great seasoning stuff. All right, now put the eggs in there. Scramble them a little bit. Mix them in with the veggies. I know I'm doing it wrong. Tell me in the comments. Tell me how I'm doing it wrong. All right, so since I'm doing this one-handed, I'm going to ask my lovely assistant, the lovely Miss Tina, to throw some cilantro leaves right up on the top of that. There we go. Move the spatulas out of the way. Oh, I want more cilantro for sure. Less stems, more leaves. These are fresh cilantro is kind of wilted and wet
from the refrigerator.
Yeah, it's probably good. Spread it out a little bit. Yeah, goes back to nature. Okay, that's good. And I think that cilantro is probably dead.
Just throw it out.
Done, yeah. And then now, a little pinch of cheese right on the top, because you know can't have a breakfast burrito without cheese. Cover it up for a moment. So now we got a little melted cheese there. The tortillas. Keep the tortillas nice and warm. Temperature back up just a little bit.
You're gonna need some plates, right?
Yeah, we'll need some plates. Cover the tortillas there. All right, the rest of it I got to use 2 hands to roll them, put them on plates, and then I'll clean up the griddle. But anyway, that's the process. I'll show you the final product momentarily. Okay, turn the griddle off, and they came out just perfect. Over, toast them a little bit on the other side. Griddle burritos for breakfast. What do you think, honey? Does it meet with your approval?
Oh yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick look at how to put away the ARB awning. So I'm going to fast forward it while I take this down. All right, here you go. Well, that just about does it for this version of Everything RV by Pat. This is the free solo. That's the Jeep. We are at Carpenteria campground once again. One last look around. And that's it. Stay tuned to my channel for more adventures from the free solo, and from the other one, from the longer fifth wheel, Delight. We are glad to have you here. Thanks again. Be sure to check out some of these videos next time. Until then, have a great day and get out and enjoy the world around you. Bye for now.